Hi friends! This is going to be a video about how to do your constructive speech outline if you are on the negative team. So first negative, you'll fill out this one. Second negative, you'll go to the second page and fill out this one. Please be very specific in what you fill out on this page. This is how I can give you feedback and help before you actually give your debate. So I want you to use quotes, I want you to use research, include your citations that you're going to use to cite your sources. Just be as detailed as you can and include as much information on this outline as you can so that you can be prepared for your actual speech. So first negative, you will be starting off with introducing the negative's stand on the proposition in precise terms. Be very, very clear about how you feel about the affirmative's proposition and defend the status quo. Why is the affirmative team's position not good? Why is it not effective? Why is it wrong? Be clear about where you stand. Next, I know this is kind of out of order, it might seem like from your other speeches, but next you give your well-developed hook. So if your topic is the drinking age, maybe you have a story from your research that really tugs at your heartstrings and makes people listen and will make people believe that the status quo is currently working and the law is fine the way that it is. Right away, you really want to prove with some sort of story from your research to grab our attention that says we are right and our stand is correct. Thirdly, first negative, you want to accept or substitute the definition of terms that the affirmative team gave if necessary. So you might either say, yes, we accept the definitions that the affirmative team said, or no, we actually need to make some revisions to the definitions of the affirmative team. Hopefully you agree. Hopefully when you both give your speeches, you agree on how to define terms. For example, if your topic was high schools do not prepare students well enough for college, even college would be something that would need to be defined, because are you talking about four-year colleges, or do you also include trade schools, technical schools? You just want to make sure that you agree on all terms so that there's no confusion and everyone's on the same page. This is probably your most important and where a lot of your research is going to come in. Firstly, here you're going to want to attack and question each affirmative argument. Prove where possible. So if the affirmative brings up an argument that you can prove to be incorrect, this is the time that you want to do that. You want to attack maybe what they said, bring up why what they've said is not true, and prove it where you can with your own research. So you want to try to be ready for what they might bring up. You're not necessarily going to know what they're going to say, but wherever you can, try to be ready for whatever it is that they might say. And then develop each argument that shows the status quo to be the best option. So you are defending the status quo. You are defending what we currently have. So you want to have reasons right down here, at least 3 reasons that says the status quo is working and here's why. Use statistics, facts, details, examples, testimonies, anecdotal information, illustrations, quotations. Use as many of these as you can. You won't have time for everything, but as many as you can to really prove that these reasons are correct, that the status quo is working. Get some testimonials from some people who can really testify to this. Give some examples from your research. Use some facts that really prove what you're trying to say. By the end of your constructive speech, you're going to summarize the main points that you said, wrap it up, bring it to a clear closing, and then ask for concurrence, which basically means please side with the negative team because blah, blah, blah. Whatever your reason is. And if you are second negative, your constructive speech will begin similarly. You're going to start by restating the negative stand on the proposition in precise terms and finish defending the status quo. Your partner basically already did this, but again, you want to be clear about where you stand on the proposition. You don't think that there's anything wrong with the status quo, and here's why. Here's how we feel about the proposition. Then you're also going to give a well-developed hook. It needs to be different than your partner's, but you want to start us off with maybe some sort of a story that'll really get our attention, that'll really prove that the status quo is working. Something from your research to prove that. This is the big one. Second negative, attacking your opponent's plan. When they tell their plan, you won't know exactly what their plan is or what they're going to say. but you can anticipate it. You can start to think before you give this speech, what might they say as their plan? What kind of things could they bring up as a plan? That's why you almost need to research both sides of this issue, because you need to be ready for what the affirmative team is going to say. So anticipate what their plan might be. Bring up what ideas could they possibly say, and be ready to defend those. For the next box, explain why the plan is not practical, why it's not feasible, not desirable, and or does not meet their needs. Why will this plan not work? Bring up what the plan is up here, and then why it won't work. Again, you're just anticipating because you're not going to know their plan, but you have to try and think of what it possibly could be. What kind of plans could they bring up? And give examples of where and when this plan has been attempted but failed. They might bring up a plan idea that's already been tried. So why didn't it work? Try to be as ready as you can for what the other team might say. By the end, you're going to summarize and end with a strong final point and ask for concurrence. And so basically you're going to say the negative team believes this, so please side with us because whatever your reasoning is. I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.